Hello everyone, wishing you all a very good morning. I hope I am audible and visible to all of you. And welcome to today's class, the last class for the week. You will be having a test on Sunday, and the topic for the test, as you know, would be motion in 2 dimension and work, power, and energy. Now, if this is a paper of motion in 1 dimension, you can also expect questions of motion in. If it is a paper of motion in 2 dimension, you can also expect a question of motion in 1 dimension coming in, because that would be more simpler. Anyways, let us start today's class, and let us start today's class with the question that I gave you in the last class to do as homework. And I think that question was from your paper of the last week. You had a question, and I had given you as homework if you could try and do it. I think the question was like this. I can just make it like this. X was given as t cube minus something. Let us take it 2t square plus 3t. X was given as a function of time, and you had to find work done by the force in, let us say, 4 seconds. I think I may have missed what was x. Maybe my function is different, but that doesn't make any difference to the ultimate question. X was given. I think mass was also given. So let me call the mass of the body as m. So I make it a generic question, general question. Mass of the body is given as m. X. The position is given as a function of time. And I think you were supposed to find out the work done by this force in a time interval of 4 seconds. How many of you have tried it? Please raise your hands. How many of you tried this question at home? No one? I hope I'm audible and visible to all of you. Okay, your video was lagging, so I could not see who has lifted his hand. So can you just lift your hands and let me know how many of you have tried this question at home? No one? No one tried it? Why are students late in the class? Why everyone is coming at 9:05 when the class is supposed to begin at 9 o'clock? If one student can come at 9 o'clock, that means all of them should come at 9 o'clock. If you don't value time in your life, time will start to devalue yourself. And when time plays around with you, you will have no one to save you. No one can stop time. No one is Lord Krishna who can stop time and, make things possible in that stop time. He stopped time during Mahabharata, and he started giving the famous pravachan of Gita. He stopped it. We are not Lord Krishnas. We can't stop time. And if we don't value time, time is going to teach us a very, very bad as well as a good lesson. Value time. 9 o'clock, 8:59, everyone should be there in the class. If you can't do it, well, you're beginning on a wrong note. Anyways, let me start it again. X was given as a function of time. Mass is given as m. You have to find out the work done in 4 seconds. I asked you to do it at home. Anyone has done it? Please raise your hands. No one? Only one student has done it probably. Yes, beta. Tell me, beta, how you have done it. Have you tried it? How you have tried it? Tell me. Answers are not important. I always keep on telling you answers are not important. You may get the answer, you may not get the answer. That is least of my concern. The problem is, have you tried it or not? So what have you done? Tell me, fatapat. X was given as a function of time. You have to find the work done in 4 seconds. Mass is given. How do you do it? What have you tried? No one? Okay, then let's not waste time. I will do it. So how will I do this one? So I just need to understand that my work done is integral of f dot dx or dr, whatever it is. It is a dot product of force with displacement. Now, if displacement is given, if force is given as a function of x or displacement or position, it becomes a very simple equation. We have already done so many questions. It's just a way of integrating it. But here, what I can see, the problem with this question is that x is given as a function of time. For the first time, x is given as a function of time in this chapter, and you have to find the work done in 4 seconds. That is also new, because up till now we were finding work done from point A to point B. There were 2 points in space. Now it's given in time. So these are the two new things. So somehow time has come into the picture. Time is always there in the picture, which you are not worried about, and that's a bad sign. Time is there in the picture. So I have to bring time here in the picture. In this equation, I need to bring time in the picture. How do I bring time here? Anyone? How do I bring time here? Okay, you might not be having an idea about this, so I'll let you know. If I know that you might not have an idea, I'll tell you that okay, I will do it. But if I know that you should have tried, you should have tried it. And you are not following my instructions, and whosoever does not follow my instructions, I don't take any responsibility of that student in the exams. So you are on your own in the examination hall. If you don't follow my instructions, you are on your own. Then may God help you. Because only God can help you then. If you don't follow my instruction, I will not help you. I can't help you because you're not following my instruction. Only God will help you. And pray to God every day. Instead of studying, pray to God. Get up at 9 o'clock, pray to God. 10 o'clock, pray to God. 11 o'clock, pray to God. 12 o'clock, pray to God. 1 o'clock, pray to God. God, 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 God. Because He is the only one who will save you. So how do I do it? How do I bring time into the picture? Integral of f dot dr. So nothing has changed. I divided by dt, and then I multiplied the entire thing by dt. That is how questions are made in JEE Advanced. I may not be able. I would have told you this because it will come in a different, in the third topic. It will come in the third topic. So I would have told you this. Not now. I would have told you. I'm going to tell you this after 3 more classes. I will derive this. But you had to do it on your own, because I always insist that you must be able to do things on your own, not for JEE Mains, but for JEE Advanced, because questions will come where you will have to put your brains. God will not help you then. F dot dr by dt multiplied by dt. Now, as soon as I do it is, what I have created here, I have created dr by dt. What is dr by dt? What is dr by dt? No one knows what is dr by dt. No one in the entire class. Dr is displacement, dt is time. What is dr by dt? Vector by vectorly. Dr by dt. What is dr by dt? No one knows it. Well done. So dr by dt is velocity v, rate of change of position with time. Dr by dt is velocity. So now my equation looks like this. Work done is integral of f dot v multiplied by t. Now this equation now starts to look like this. Same equation. Instead of writing it as f dot dr, I have written it as f dot v multiplied by dt. Now as soon as this f dot v comes, right now we don't know it. This f dot v is also known as something. And can anyone guess what is this f dot v? And that is why I said that I will do it in the later class. What is this f dot v? If no one participates in the class, it becomes a one-way communication, and one-way communication never helps anyone. So what is f dot v? Any idea? No idea. So I'll give you the idea. F dot V is known as power, and in this case, it is instantaneous power. And we will be dealing with this power in the coming classes. After work, we are dealing with energy. After energy, we would be dealing with power. So F dot V is power, and that is why I said that I would have derived this in the coming classes. But that doesn't mean that this was out of course. This was not out of course because it can easily be done on your own. You have to put your brains together. You don't put them together, only God will help you. And from today also, I will also start praying for you that God please help these kids because they will be needing your help because they are not helping themselves right now. So you are at the mercy of God, and I'll pray for you every day. F dot V into dt. So now I can just write it like this. So you can just remember this. This is instantaneous power multiplied by dt. Now since dt has come into the picture, I can integrate it from 0 to t, or I can integrate it from t1 to t2 depending on what time we are trying to calculate the integral. So this integral, which was from r1 to r2, which was in terms of position, now I have changed this integral from position wala integral to time wala integral. So that is what I have done. From position wala integral, here I was integrating it from one position to the other position. From position wala integral, I have changed it into time wala integral. That you had to do on your own. You could not do it, not a problem. Doesn't matter. One question is gone, doesn't matter, but you have learned something out of it. And what you have learned is that you have to put your brains in JEE Advanced. Otherwise, you will be facing a lot of trouble. Having said this, now I have given you this, you can call it as a formula or you can call it something, whatever you want it. I've given you a new equation to find out the value of work done. Can you solve the question now? Try it. Please help yourself, beta. If you don't try, you will not succeed in life. Please don't do this. You have time on your side. Nothing has been lost. Please work hard. That is the only way you can clear any exam. God will not help you. God is in fact helping you by giving you this opportunity that you are able to study at a place like you are in. You are getting all facilities there. That is God helping you. And God can only help you that. He will not come on, He will not be incarnated right in front of you and tell, okay, okay, I have come, I am Lord Krishna. Take my blessings and all of you will pass. No. Even He told, He said in Gita and Mahabharata, you do your job, you do your karma, I will give you the rewards. If you don't do your karma, forget. Mahabharata, he was Lord Krishna. He could have stood, and in 1 second, he could have finished the entire battle. He could have just stood. Kauravas could not have fought him. He was God, but he did not fight the battle. He could have He could have fought and won the battle for the Pandavas in 1 second. He did not need anything to win the battle. He could have just stood, and the battle was over. But he did not do it. He let Pandavas win the battle on their own. Why? Because they had to do their karma. He was God, but they had to do their karma. If you don't do your karma, no one will help you. Your karma is to study. Do it. Then only God will help you. If you are relying that just sitting 1 hour in the class, you will become an IITian, forget, that will not happen. No one in this universe can make you an IITian by 1 hour of class. If someone has told you that, he has misguided you. Don't study, you will not get it better. Trust me. Please study. Please study. Please study. Okay, enough of lectures. X is given as a function of time. You know the formula now. Give me the answer. I'll give you 2 minutes. I hope you are trying the question now. Everything is right in front of your eyes. You just have to do it. Get your answers. Stay happy. So, what are the things that you need to find out? First, you need to find out force. Then you need to find out velocity. You have to take the dot product. Here, dot product will mean whether they are in the same direction or whether they are in the opposite direction. We'll assume that they are in the same direction. So dot product simply means F into V, magnitude, into cos theta. Cos theta, theta will be 0, so it will simply becomes F into V. So you have to find out the value of F. What is the value of F? Number 1. You have to find out the value of V. Number 2, multiply them by dt, integrate them, and you have your answers. Are you doing it or shall I do it? One more minute to show me that you are trying to solve the problem and you are working on it. Find out F, find out V, multiply them, multiply by dt, integrate, 5 steps, and you are there. Let me also start with together with you so that I can also help you. X is given as t cube, let me check, minus 2t square plus 3t. Can anyone come on the mic and talk with me and tell me how we are going to do this? Anyone can help me out? I hope your mic is working. We know the steps. Can anyone tell me how will I find velocity from here? How will I find velocity from here? Anyone? X is given as a function of time. How will I find velocity? X is position. How will I find velocity? No one knows it. Okay, not a problem. I will differentiate it with time. I will differentiate this equation with time once. I will get velocity. So what is the velocity? Velocity is dx by dt. I differentiate it and I get the value of velocity. What is the derivative? 3t square minus 4t plus 3. That becomes the velocity of the particle. So I have one. If you look at this velocity is right now here. So I have got to step number 1. I have calculated the velocity. What next? Step number 2. Find out the acceleration. How do I find out the acceleration? How do I find out the acceleration? I differentiate it once more.
dv by dt.
Well done. I have someone talking. That is great. So I differentiate it once more. dv by dt. Simple steps. So it becomes 6t minus 4. Well done. Good. So now I have my second step. Oh, I have not calculated force. I have only calculated acceleration. So how will I get force from the acceleration?
We have got the acceleration and the mass is same.
Mass is there. Well done. So I just multiply mass with my acceleration. So force becomes mass multiplied by acceleration. Well done. I just multiply this thing by mass. So it becomes m multiplied by 6t minus 4. That becomes my force. Well done. What about the next step? What I need to do in the next step? Oops, wrong color. What I need to do as the next step?
Integrate the force and dr by velocity. with respect to
Yes, multiply them both. So it's now a equation whether you have to multiply this green thing with this blue thing. You have to multiply this green thing with this blue thing. Multiply them all. Integrate them from 0 to t. Now the multiplication will be somewhat bigger because in the velocity wala thing you have 3 terms. In force wala things you have 2 terms. So you multiply them, you will have 4 or 5 terms. Doesn't matter. Then you integrate it, you get your answers. Getting my point? How to do it? Everyone, can I have some raise hand that we have understood this? Girls on the right, boys on the left. Can I give you one more that you can do? Okay, chalo. So I'll give you one just to check whether we have understood the concept or not. First, I'll give you time to note this down. The next question I'll give you that will be a bit more simpler in terms of calculation so that you can calculate it, get the answer, and be confident that you have done a question of this type. Meanwhile, you can note down the formula that we have derived. I will not derive it again. I will straight away write it when we do power wala topic. I will now straight away write it. Previously, I was planning to derive it. I have already derived it. There is no point of deriving it again. That would be simply a waste of time. And as I said, time doesn't wait for anyone. If you don't value time, we are destined to be ruined. Let us start with this question, and I hope that I get an answer very quickly. Answers are not important. Important is your method. Important is that you are trying. When you try, you will get the answer. No one can stop it because Lord had said this. Do your karma, do your karma, do your karma, do your karma. Okay, so now the question is like this. Velocity of a particle is given as a function of time 2t minus 5. The mass of the particle is 2 kgs. Find the work done by the force in 4 seconds. Your time starts now. I have created a question and I am waiting for your answers. I will wait for 2 minutes. I think you can be done in 2 minutes. Over to you guys.
Sir, I have got the answer 64.
Well done. Very well. Just let me check. Let me wait for 1 more minute.
Sir, I got 12 joules.
Okay, so I have different answers. As I always said, answers never matter. The process is what that matters. Okay, I'll give you 1 more minute. Let
Sir,
yes, beta.
I got 4 joules, sir.
So I'm getting 64, I'm getting 12, I'm getting 4. Everything is in a multiple of 4, so that's a good news. Because 4 seconds probably, that's why everything is coming in a multiple of 4. Okay, how to do it? Simple. Anyone could help me out? How to do it? How you have done it? So first of all, without anything, I will just write work done as integral of f dot v. I am not using the word power because we are still not done power. So f dot dv into t. Anyone can help me how to do it? So first I have to find out f. I need to find out v.
Sir, find the acceleration first.
Yeah, because v is already there, correct?
Yes,
How
sir.
do I get the acceleration?
dv by dt.
So I differentiate this. dv by dt simply becomes 2, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
dv by dt, which is acceleration, becomes 2. Then I can find out what?
F become 4 joules. 4
F
newtons, sir.
F becomes 4 newtons because mass is given as 2 kgs and this is 2 meter per second square. Everything is in SI units. I'm not worried about the units. Well done. So F becomes 2 into 2, 4 newtons. That is my value of F. So I have
Integrate
F.
the velocity.
Yes. Just give me a time. Sometime I'm not as fast as you guys. You are quite brilliant. I am on old processor. I take time to process. So F is 4 Newton. That is my yellow thing. My blue thing is already there, beta. Yes. What is the next thing? I just put the values here. So my work done, delta W becomes simply integral of F. F is 4. So I take 4. 4 multiplied by 2t minus 5. Am I correct, beta?
Yes, sir.
Well done. So I just multiply it and put the integral. So it will become integral of 8 times t minus 20 times dt. That would be my integral. I have to find out the work done in 4 seconds. So the integral is from 0 to 4. What is the value of this integral? 8 comes out. Integral of t dt. Integral of t dt is t squared by 2. So I put t squared by 2 and then I put the limit from 0 to 4. Then what happens? Minus 20 is taken out. Integral of dt is t. So it is simply minus 20t 0 to 4. I can now simplify this. This is 4. I can put the values. Tell me what answer are you getting from what integral or value I have received. So t squared is 4. 4 squared. 4 squared is 16. 16 multiplied by 4 is 64. So this will be 64 in the first case. Minus, at that end I have t into 4. T is 4. 64 minus 80, I think. So answer will be minus 16. That is the answer I am getting if I have correct, if I have done it correctly. Are we clear with this? We understand this?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
That's it. As simple as this. Okay. Chalo. So if any question of this nature comes, this is how you are supposed to do it. Okay. Shall we move again? Anyone any doubt? Please let me know. Anyone any doubt? Please ask, beta. Anyone? Okay. Let us then bring our concentration back to where and what we were dealing with. We were dealing with kinetic energy, half mv square. We were also dealing with work energy theorem. Yes or no? Do we understand this? Okay. Now, let me get you another problem. We have talked about work done by gravity. We have not talked about work done by spring force because that we will do in a different way. So I will not give you questions on spring force. What about, we have talked about work done by normal reaction, and we have always seen that if a body is put on ground or any surface, body will move along the surface. Normal reaction would be perpendicular to the surface, and hence work done by normal reaction in almost all the cases, unless and until I make a different case, work done by normal reaction would be coming as zero. Yes or no? Do we all understand this? So we have talked about gravity. We have talked about normal reaction. We have definitely talked about friction. In the last question we had done work done by friction, it was coming as negative. What we have not discussed is work done by tension. Work done by tension. So that is one force that we had discussed in the previous chapter. What is work done by tension? If a question comes, and I am going to make a question for you, and we will discuss that question in details. So this is question number 2. Now what we are going to do is do it in two different ways so that you understand what we had done previously and what we are going to do now. What is the difference? Okay, so this is the question. It's a very simple, straightforward question. Let me say this is a body of mass m1 and this is a body of mass m2. Let us not bring friction into the picture. I don't want friction. It just complicates things. It makes the question more lengthy. I don't want it. Now, this system is here. There is no friction. As what will happen to the system? Let us suppose that I am somehow holding this block and this block is at rest. If this block is at rest, this block which is hanging, which will also remain at rest. Yes or no? So the system is at rest. System is at rest. Nothing moves. So I'm holding them probably. Even if I hold one, that will be enough, because if I hold one, the other will not move. I'm holding them. I release them. What will happen if I release them? What will happen if I release them? System was held at rest. Now I release. What happens? The system moves. This moves down and this moves here. Yes or no? If this moves down with a velocity v, this will move here with a same velocity, same magnitude, but different direction. If it moves down with acceleration a, this will move here with an acceleration a. Do we understand this? Can I have some raised hand that we understand this? Well done. Okay, again come back to the question. See, it's important to understand the question. If you understand the question, the answer is right there in front of your eyes. So I'm holding the system and I release it. It will move down. Now, let us suppose that this block has moved down by a height h. This block has moved down by a height h. What will happen to this block? The block which is kept on top. The block that is kept on top. If this block has moved down by height h, this has to move here by a length h. Yes or no? Do we all agree on this? Okay. Question is pretty simple, and we'll not do it by work energy theorem. And I'll also try to make you understand when to do a question by Newton law and when to do a question by work energy theorem. So the question here right now is find, which you can always do, find acceleration and velocity. Find the acceleration of the two blocks and the velocity of the two blocks when the blocks have moved by h. Listen to the question very carefully. Find out the acceleration and velocity of the blocks when the blocks have moved by height h. Your time starts now. I hope everyone is trying the question. The first step is to find out acceleration. I think most of us know it. The second step is to find out the velocity v. Can anyone help me out in telling me the steps? How are we going to do this? Okay, I'll give you 1 more minute to think.
Okay.
Yes, beta.
Half m1 v square equals to m2 gh.
Half m2 v square is equal to m2 gh. That is what you are saying, beta?
Yes.
But beta, you have not told me what is the acceleration. Have you? Okay. Well tried. The answer is not correct because you have missed the point. Don't worry. I'm here. Why am I here? I'm here to let you know what I know about things and share them so that you also share with the younger ones when you grow older. How to do it? It's very simple. As soon as you see acceleration, the first thought would be, if I have to find acceleration, the best way would be to use Newton's laws, because that is the best way to get acceleration. I can also get acceleration from work and theorem, but I will not get into that right now. I just don't want to confuse your life more than what it already is. To find out acceleration, I do what I have been doing in the previous chapter, M1G, T, 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 M2G, normal reaction N. This is what I've been doing since long. I always know that n will be equal to m2g. So far, so good. We understand this. Do we understand this? Normal reaction is m2g. Then I look at the equation of the two blocks. Let me first look at the red equation. T is here and the block is also accelerating in the same direction. So the red equation for this block becomes T is equal to M2A. Do we understand this? Can I have some raised hand that we understand this, sir? So revision of your previous chapter as well as you are going to learn something new. How are we relating things? That is important. T is equal to M2A. Let us now move on to the third equation. Can anyone tell me what will be the third equation? Remember, in the previous chapter, we were only doing the question till acceleration. We were not finding out velocity. Here we have gone one step ahead and found out velocity. Can you tell me what is the green equation, anyone?
T is equals to md plus a.
Not correct. This is going down. Downward force is m1g, upward force is t. So the equation becomes m1g minus t is equal to m1a. Do we all agree on this? Yes or no? m1g minus t is equal to m1a. I can add equation number 1. Let me call this equation as equation number 1. Let me call this equation as equation number 2. I can add up both these equations and get the value of a. Can anyone tell me what is the value of a? We have done so many questions of this nature in the previous chapter. What is the value of a?
Wrong.
Yes, bacha, tell me what is the value of a? Yes, bacha, tell me.
Sir, m1g by m1 plus m2.
Very correct. Acceleration is m1g by m1 plus m2. If you remember, I also gave you shortcuts to find out a. If you don't remember them, you can go back to those lectures and see how we can find out the value of a using the shortcut method. I can't discuss it right now. It would be a waste of time. So acceleration is m1g upon m1 plus m2. But the question does not stop here because we have to find this gentleman, the yellow gentleman, the blue gentleman, blue and yellow gentleman. Acceleration is already done. You have to find out this velocity as well, v, velocity. How will I find out the velocity? First, we have to understand velocities of both the blocks would be same. If it does not happen, the string will break or it will become loose. I've told you that is not going to happen. So velocities of both the blocks will be same. Now let me think about this block. Let me think about just one block. Let us forget the other block. Whatever happens with this block, the same thing happens with the other block. Why I'm seeing so much of movement in the class? Okay, whatever happens with this block, the same thing happens with the other block. Let me write what I know about this block. The initial velocity of the block is 0. Yes or no? The initial velocity of the block, lower block or the upper block is 0. I have calculated the acceleration. Acceleration will be minus m1g upon m1 plus m2. Why I have written minus? Because this block is moving down, and I remember from my motion in 1D, whatever goes down, I will always call it negative. Whatever is going up, It is always positive. Do we understand this? Can I have some reason that we understand this? Then I think about the displacement of this block, how much this block has displaced. It has moved down. It has moved down by h, so it will be minus h. Why I've written minus h? I've written minus h because of my sign convention. Everything which is downwards is negative. U is known, acceleration is known, displacement is known. What is the unknown? Unknown is v. Unknown is only v. Now go back to your equations. U is given, A is given, displacement is given. You have to find out the value of v. Which equation are you going to use here? Which equation are you going to use here?
V square minus U square equals to 2A delta.
Well done. Please give me the answer for velocity then. The equation is very correct. I am very happy that you remember it. V square minus U square is equal to 2 times A into delta. Well done, bacha. Just put the values in this and give me the value of V from here. U is given, A is given, delta R is given. The answer is right in front of your eyes, beta. Please look at the answer. Give me the answer. Then I'll tell you how we're going to do it again.
Under root 2 m1gh by m1 plus m2.
Well done. That is the answer. Under root of the entire under root of 2 times m1 gh upon m1 plus m2. Can I have some raise of hands that tell me ki sir, absolutely correct. This is the answer that we are getting. Everyone, this is the answer that we are getting. We agree on this. Okay. Also remember from the previous class, I had given you additional information. That this equation, the green equation, I had written it in a different way. I had written it in a different way, and I told you that this equation is nothing but what? This equation is nothing but work energy theorem applied to block 1. Do we remember this? I bifurcated this equation and multiplied it by m, divided it by 2, and written it in a form where I told you that this is nothing but work energy theorem. That means this equation has been done, which was done in the chapter unit and that first chapter, motion in 1D, was actually a concept of 5th or 6th chapter, work, power and energy. But that was not the time for you to tell you all this. This is the time that I told you. Do you remember this from the last class? Yes or no? Okay, so this is method number 1. Method number 1, what I have done, I first calculated acceleration. Then from that acceleration, I have calculated velocity, and I have achieved the result that velocity will be equal to this one. Let us now, if acceleration was not asked, obviously I can find out acceleration as well, but let me not get into that acceleration part. If acceleration was not asked here in this question, and you were simply asked what is the velocity after the height that has fallen is h. If the acceleration is not asked, you don't have to do the entire thing, because acceleration is not being asked. And most probably you will be asked this velocity rather than the acceleration. You will be asked this velocity rather than the acceleration. Now in that case, I have always told you, if you are asked velocity, 99.9% that question has to be done by work energy theorem. But now you will say, sir, we have already applied work energy theorem. Now what different will you do? Look at how differently I am going to do it and why I am going to do it in that way. So let us now draw the diagram once again, and then let me do it by a different method, not a different method. Let me do it by the method of chapter number 6. As we grow older, we will understand new things. Those are not new things. Those are just old things repacked and sold back to you. M1, M2, same question. It has fallen by a height h. Same question. Initially, they were at rest. Same question. Find the velocity. After it has fallen a height h, find velocity. Now, how I'm going to do it right now, I'm not going to find out acceleration because that is not asked. Why should I do it? Time is important, I told you. It will be very important when it comes to the final exam because you only have 3 hours to show your talent. 3 hours. That's it. You may attempt it again, but only 3 hours. Time goes, no one can get it back. You are not Lord Krishna, you can't stop time. You have to find the velocity. M1 is given, M2 is given, initially they are at rest. M1 has fallen height h. What is the velocity of the blocks? Now I will do it using work energy theorem. You will say, sir, we applied work energy theorem on the first question as well, in the first method as well. But now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to apply. Now, once I apply work energy theorem here, I first have to see what are the forces acting here. One force is M1G. Do we all agree? This force will do some work. The problem will come with this tension. We have never seen the work done by tension. This tension, this tension, this tension, this tension, this M2G, and this N. Now we all understand that work done by this normal reaction would be 0 because the block is going like this. Work done by this weight will also be 0. Yes or no? Do we understand this? Can I have some raise hand that we understand this? Girls on the right, boys on the left. Left side block. Everyone is sleeping. Okay, work done by normal reaction and work done by this weight is 0. Now, work done by this tension and this tension is also 0 because this pulley does not go anywhere. So this pulley is fixed. So these two tensions don't do any work. The green wala tension do not do any work because the pulley does not move. The only problem here is this red wala tension and this red wala tension. What work do they do? Now remember this. If you don't remember it, we had found out the constraint relation using a thing which I call it as virtual work principle. Do anyone remember the virtual work principle? We had calculated the relation between velocities and acceleration using virtual work principle. In that virtual work principle, I had told you that work done by tension, which is one of the internal force of the system, work done by total tension or tension will be 0. If you don't remember it, then you can remember it now. Work done by tension is 0. Why it is 0? Because whatever tension, whatever work niche wala tension does, niche wala tension, will it do positive or negative work? Body is moving down, tension is upwards. Please listen to me very carefully. Body is moving down, niche wala body, M1 is moving down, tension is upwards. So this tension will do negative work. Tension is upwards, body is moving downwards. Now if I call this other tension as the blue tension, now this blue tension is aage and body is also moving aage, forward. This blue tension will do positive work. Blue tension will do positive work. The pink tension will do negative work. Both will be same. Both will be equal and opposite. Not equal and opposite. Not, they are not opposite. Both are going to cancel out each other. and hence work done by tension will always come as 0. Do we all understand this? Can I have some raise hand that we understand this? Everyone in the class, work done by tension is 0. Normal reaction and M2G are already gone. Already gone. Don't worry about them. Only one thing remains that is going to do work. What is that thing that is remaining which is going to do work? That thing is your yellow wala M1G. This is the only force that is going to do work. Yes or no? Can I have some raise hands? So I am going to apply work energy theorem for both blocks together. Up till now, I was applying work energy theorem for only one block. Now I have to apply work energy theorem for combined system, because if I don't take both the blocks, tension will give me problem. Tension always gives tension. If I only take block 1, T on block 1 will do work. If I only take block 2, T on block 2 will do work. But I take M1 and M2 together, both this work done will get cancelled out. I will stop the class here because I want to discuss this question in details, and I will do it in 2 or 3 different ways, and then you will understand, wow, how do the things relate to each other. That will be done in the next class. So even in work, even in this question, virtual work principle and all that, I will do it in 2 or 3 different ways. Then you will realize that how many different ways can be there to solve the same question. You just have to find out one. That makes your task simpler. And I always tell you one way of doing a question which will never fail. That's it. I will wind up today's class here because it will take some time to discuss this question. I don't have that much of time left. So we will start tomorrow's class. Tomorrow means the next working day with the same question. Up till here, it's already done. We'll move further ahead. I will ask you to solve this question on your own. You already know the answer. Apply work energy theorem. If you can do it, it is a brilliant thing that you can do it. Else the class is over from my end. I hope you will value time. Come on time. Please follow the instructions. And I'm sure things are going to be better. If nothing happens, then I will take the entire responsibility of whatever has happened. But if you don't follow my instructions, I'm the first one who's going to raise hands. I can't help it. The first person to leave the sinking ship would be me. Your parents will ask me why this happened. I said, I am not the one who is responsible. He or she never listened to me. But if you listen to me, that day will never come. Even if something not very good happens, I will be the one who will face your parents and let them know what was wrong. But if you don't follow me, I am the first one who will jump off. I don't know. He does not listen to me. I don't know. End of story. Okay. And that has never happened because my students always listen to me. So that has never happened. I have never jumped off a ship. I have never jumped off a ship. Work hard and do what is told to you. Try this question at home. We'll discuss it on Monday. If you have any doubts, please ask. Else the class is dismissed from my end. Have a good day. Value time. Study hard. Do your karma. God is there. He'll give you the reward. Take care.